Hello, everyone. My name is Gonzalo Duran, and this is Vet Talk. Today's honored guest is Tyreek Goodman, the CEO of EpicRev Television.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Tyreek, thank you for being back.
Thank you for having me.
Since we last talked, you've done a different a revamp of your organization. I mentioned EpicRev Television, but you also have now EpicRev Vision, where you're doing a lot of nonprofit work.
Yes.
Would you talk to some of us? Tell us why you're doing this change.
So the reason why is, as y'all know, EpicRev TV is a platform, a diverse platform, dedicated to making, prominent memories into tangible realities, and also dedicated to shine a light on different content creators, actors, musicians, and even people that do such as yourself. And also, we also offer promotion for those candidates out there and people who want to get their message out there. But for EpicRev Vision, the reason why we decided to expand with EpicRev Vision in the nonprofit sector is because there's a lot of work that needs to be done within our communities that we can address head on. And how do we do this? We do this with our annual business meetups, our men's mental health initiatives, and even female mental health initiatives. These programs that we throw allow our community base, allows us to bring community speakers and representatives out to also talk to the people within the community and allow them to also share their ideas and combine with us.
So let's talk about this men's mental health first.
Yes, sir.
How did that come about?
Men's mental health was something that came about, was something that I always wanted to do. It was something that I always believed in. A lot of men feel as if like they're not being heard. Their issues are not being addressed. And, as growing up in the projects, being a man in the projects, expressing yourself and expressing your emotions is very hard without you acting out. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to limit the reaction of somebody that's dealing with a lot, that's going through a lot, by giving them a safe space for them to talk, for them to be in a safe environment. And I don't just do this by myself with the Men's Mental Health Initiative. I'm working with Chaplain James Washington Ward. He also has his own business called Today's Pixels, where he does also charity work. He takes pictures for veterans and also homeless people and for children, for college pics and things like that. And he deals with the youth just like I deal with the youth. And a lot of the men that we're dealing with, it's hard for them to express themselves. It's hard for them to get out what they truly want to get out.
Have you seen a big response from the community regarding them?
Yes. Honestly, it's so crazy because I didn't think, when I first did it, of course you think like, okay, it's going to be effective, but I didn't think how big it will become. And now we have people that's saying, well, hey, look, I see what's going on. This guy said it helped him. Let me go and let me try it out. And then when they come and the experience is not like we're telling them or we're forcing them to feel or think a certain type of way. No, this is a safe place where you could come and say what you're going through, and we're there to support. And each of our stories are relative in some type of sequence and relative to one another, to where we're able to help each other and guide each other through.
I was fortunate to be to sit in one of the meetings, and I saw how emotional some of the people got.
I got emotional. It's crazy, like throwing the Men's Mental Health Initiative workshop. It was crazy because I didn't think I needed it. I did it to help others, not realizing that it would help me. And that's one of the major things, and that's how I know it's effective, because I had to open up. It's a lot of suppressed emotions that we deal with on a everyday basis. And when I was able to be there and show and shine light on my story, it was easier for them to break down those barriers and share their story.
I gotcha. So now, I can see how, you just speaking about it can bring out a lot of stuff. So, when it comes to men's mental health, as Marines, as a former Marine, and in the military mindset, it's always rah rah rah, be tough, be all this. But a lot of the things that I've seen over the years, the last 10 years since being out, being a part of organizations that do mental health as a peer specialist and suicide prevention certified by the state. I've seen how keeping it all in the men's situation mentality, that it can blow up eventually. And
Right.
I wish good luck on that initiative.
Thank
Any way we can help, anyway, if anybody wants to be able to participate or share their resources or abilities to help the men, please feel free to reach out.
Now, we're also doing Women's Mental Health Initiative too, and as well as Family Together Mental Health Initiative, because this is the thing. While we're tackling these different things for people to come and speak their truth or to speak what they feel and give them a safe space, our job is to unify. Our job is not to divide. So we take these men and we talk about certain things with them, and we allow them to express themselves so they could go back to their families and be better men. So we're doing the same thing with the women for how to deal with us, vice versa,
Now, with regards to this, the other program you mentioned was the Meetup.
Yes.
Tell me more about that.
So we have our annual business meetup. EpicRev Vision throws an annual business meetup. And the goal for that is to bring a bunch of entrepreneurs from the urban city together and to get the support. A lot of times we're starting a business. One of the major things that hinders us within our community is connections and resources. With that being said, if you have something where you have a shirt design, but I might make like logos and things like that, we put those type of people in the rooms together so they can be able to work together. And we kind of coach them how to work together, because some things you do need money to pay for, but also when you're working with different organizations and y'all branding yourselves, as you know, it's a give and take. So we bring these business meetups, and we have these, and we're doing these twice a month. And we have different speakers come out from different walks of life, and they pretty much, give free game as well as support. And then after like 30 minutes of us talking and us giving you some game, we allow the individuals to mix and mingle, hand out your business card, tell them what you about. And if you meet somebody in this business meetup that you're like, hey, I want to work with, by any means, work with them, because that's what this is about.
And with the program, have you had any progression recently?
Yes, we just did one. We had an amazing speaker come out, Daryl D from Mixie Convos. They was coming out. Crown Nubian was there. Untold Pain 2, Reed Stay Focused. These are just a list of different brands that came out and that supports, the cause and the business meetup, as well as the culture. Lady J, Mama T, Good Tunes Radio. We got a lot of people that's doing things. You get what I'm saying? DJ Loudmouth, you get what I'm saying? He do his thing. So these are all different entrepreneurs and businesses that are startups that's doing way more. Some of them are doing way more than just a startup. Let me correct myself. But, it's dedicated towards the underground and us, for us.
Now, where do you see the future of these business meetups?
I do see them getting big. I do see it becoming something big. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I do like having them kind of intimate. 50 to 20 people is always good for me, because now I get to help those businesses individually. So once it starts becoming a big crowd, then we'll just start breaking them down into segments. So then now, instead of us having it once or twice a month, we'll have it 3 or 4 times a month, because we always want to have people come, and when they come, it's focused on them. They're able to get the best experience and not feel like they're competing with other businesses, because some people might come up and they might be a little bit more established than you. And I have had people that came to our business meetings that's a little bit more established than us. But what happens is that, us being in an intimate and a small setting, we're able to work with each other and network.
I'm glad to hear that. So now, once again, when you first came here last year, the EpicRev Television, now you progressed to EpicRev Vision. You're also even going a step further now into the political realm.
Yes, yes.
If I remember correctly, you're running for a state assembly in the 84th district?
Yes, I'm running for the 84th Assembly District, and my talking points are simple: youth enrollment, youth engagement, and civic engagement, and also shelter reform. These things are very important to our community because we need to get the youth more involved. Where's our after-school programs? Where are our after-school sports programs? Now, I'm not saying that there are none out there, but what I'm saying is compared to the kids that's out on the streets and the information, there's a big gap, a big disconnect. So in hindsight, a lot of people are saying this. Where are these things? Where is this? And they're correct because it's not promoted in front of their face. So me deciding to be a candidate was to pretty much bridge that gap. More so as even my opponent, Amanda Sepimo, she does amazing work within the community, but a lot of people might not know who she is. Me running on the ballot allows people to know, hey, this is what a district is, this is what zoning is, and this is who your elected officials who's in office now that need to be held accountable when things are not going right, or even when things are going right, need to be praised so they can continue doing their work. And that's pretty much my message. I'm a kid from the urban streets, from Jackson Avenue, a crime area, but also a family-orientated area, an area of people that care about the community. And where we come from, they don't look at us as we have the ideas to fix ourselves. And there's people within our community who's been doing it and doing for others way outside of the government help, way outside of nonprofit help. So I'm here to shine light on that. I'm here to shine light on the individual businesses that need support. There's a lot of young entrepreneurs out here, and there's also a lot of people out here who need us to do more when it comes to their mental health to support it. And that means cleaning up our environment. So that's why also, Mr. Duran, as you already know, we did the 3rd Ave cleanup, and we did that for 2 days. And pretty much that was just pretty much us showing that we care about our community, and we want y'all to know we care about our community. So help us and join us within making our community safer, cleaner, and educating the youth.
So now, if anybody wants to get in touch with you regarding the EpicRev Vision nonprofit work, how would they reach you?
Please contact us on EpicRevVisionENT@gmail.com. And if you want to contact me for political things, any of that nature.
Well, I was going to bring up that next.
Oh, sorry. So I'll be rushing the gun.
So for the nonprofit part, can you say that one more time?
EpicRevVisionENT@gmail.com.
And now, if somebody wanted to reach out to you in the political realm, how would they go about that?
Goodman for the Bronx. GoodmanForTheBronx@gmail.com. And I just want to say this, it's important that we get people that come from where we come from to run for office. But it's mostly important for us to learn about local government. Local government is how you make change. On a national level, yes, we need to be focused on the president. We need to be focused on the big game, yes. But even after the president gets elected, it's still up to the local officials to do their part to make change in their community. If we don't hold them accountable, there is no change. And one thing first, I would like to say thank you to the Department of Sanitation. They lended us brooms. They lended us gloves and face masks for the 3rd Ave cleanup, and I just want to say thank you. Shout out to Marissa. And the reason why this is important, because a lot of people don't know that the Department of Sanitation will give you resources to clean up your own community. Only thing you have to do is reach out to them and find out what garage or community board is near your area. And as me being a candidate, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to bridge the gap. Like I said, I'm not running to win. I'm running to establish, and to establish that the information is here. Let's bridge the gap.
And you make a great point. Let's say somebody wanted to do something like a cleanup in a particular area.
Correct.
The hardest thing, you already know the sanitation department's there to help facilitate that need. But getting the community to be active is the hard part.
Right. It's very hard.
And then, I'm more of somebody that tells, I like, one of my confrontational things which is very little, is saying, look, it's your job, it's your opportunity, is your responsibility to clean up your neighborhood. I mean, we pay for a certain amount for taxes for things to be done, but there's always an extra need that needs to be done.
Yeah.
And for us to be in our community, which individuals like yourself pushing it out there.
Yeah, because what happens is that we look at the Department of Sanitation and we say, oh, y'all not doing enough. And then after that, they're looking at us like, hey, we need help. And this is what, it's okay, like, we ask for help. We know we need help. But right now, New York needs help. The city needs help. You have elected officials going to jail. You have a lot of corruption. You have a lot of things going on. And not to say it like that, they need individuals like you. It's no longer for you. You can no longer sit in the sidelines and say, I'm not into politics. I'm not into, what's going on in fashion, music. You have to be involved in everything because the people that are affecting our everyday lives are involved in everything.
So now as a new candidate, and this is your first year running, what, give us some highlights that you didn't know that was going to happen that's happened this year so far.
As far as surprises, so when you first become a candidate, you're going to meet a lot of people. You're going to meet a lot of organizations and a lot of people that's going to get next to you. And it's okay. But one of the things that I found and I had to realize that some of these organizations don't always have or fit your agenda and are really there for the people. You have people that would try to get you on their side and say, hey, look, we're doing this for this, but that's not their main goal or their main purpose. The best thing I could say to any up-and-coming candidate or somebody that's running for office is stick to your morals, bring in your people, and, be careful who you take money from, advice from, and, learn and research. One of the biggest things when I had to run was reading. I had to read a lot, and it's okay to come into something not being educated, but once you're into it, it's up to you to educate yourself. Okay.
So now, I mean, you were pretty detailed right there. So, I feel like I need to ask. I mean,
yes,
let's say it would be unfortunate if you don't win. If you don't win, do you think you're going to run again?
Yeah, I definitely will run again. But this is the thing. The difference between me and a lot of other people or a lot of other candidates is that if I don't win, I'm willing to work with my opponent to get things done.
Makes sense.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Because at the end of the day, like I said, I come from a place where we're going to do what we do regardless outside of who's elected, who's in office. I'm going to do for my community regardless because we was already doing that 2 years before. So it's like the business meetups don't stop if I don't win. The mental health don't stop. You get what I'm saying? Doing for the kids don't stop. It's about unity and bringing together. And if you're only doing things to get a title, then you don't deserve that position. You don't deserve that title. Even if I don't win, I'll become the people's favorite because I'm doing what I got to do. So then they could come to me and I could go to them and say, get this done for my people. So, hey, it's all love and, everything belongs to God. The glory goes to God. And while I'm here, can I shout out my baby girl?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Listen, I'm a father first. I want to just shout out my daughter, Layel Essence Goodman. I love you. Hopefully one day when you be seeing this, because she's only 2 right now, but when she get older, she see this, she'll know that, Daddy, we fighting for you. We fight for us, for where we come from.
So I take it that you're also trying to better your community for your daughter as well.
And my family. Like my family is no different from the regular family in the projects, or like any other typical black family. As I say, I hate to say it like that, but it's the same. We got people that's doing great. We got people that's at their worst. But at the end of the day, it's up to us that comes in at my age. I'm 33. To lead the next generation that's coming in. You get what I'm saying?
Of course, yeah.
And a lot of people where we come from, they wait too late to grow up. We need to hurry up and grow up because our kids is watching. And even if you've been in the streets or no matter where you've been at, once you have your kid, now you're in control of somebody else's destiny and how you set them up. I was set up in a great way, but it wasn't the best situation because it was gangs involved, drugs involved. You get what I'm saying? So I grew up almost heading that way if I didn't have certain people to save me. You get what I'm saying? Or lead me. So now,
Trust me, in my environment as a military, you're hitting a lot of the things that we look
Right.
for in our leaders and in our community members.
right. So now I look at it like, okay, I have to be the change I wish to see. I have to be the one that's moving forward. And being the change you wish to see, I just want to take a segment. Right now, there's a lot of things going on in the media, with the mayor, certain entertainers. I want all my youth to understand this. These things that you're watching and you're seeing on TV is a learning lesson for you to learn what not to do and how not to get involved in these situations, especially if you're a young man. And if you're a young female, you need to take note to what is certain situations that you can get yourself into by having somebody take care of you. It's important that you also take care of yourself and you stand as an individual when you're doing business with anybody of authority. And that's for all walks of life.
Well, bringing up the mayor situation that you just said, any thoughts, any personal things that you want to bring up, or if you would like to talk about a policy that you're working on, your choice.
I'll just say this. When it comes to the mayor situation, I don't have all the information. Only thing I can say is that imagine being the voice of a certain group of collectives, and then now you get in trouble and this happens. That diminish all the work that you have done. That also puts a stain on other organizations. I have went with me doing my campaigning. I have went to certain schools in Harlem and in the Bronx that certain celebrities was backing, and now because they're on the chopping block, as we say, those schools are being affected. You get what I'm saying? So it's even a learning lesson for for school programs and for organizations when you get these people to work with you and you're using their likeness. You get what I'm saying? Because once their likeness goes away, your funding and everything else or whatever else you got going on is going to be affected. So what's happening to him is sad. And, and if he's guilty of anything, he should be charged. No man is above the law. I don't care who you are. You get what I'm saying? But I just think that our leaders need to be more mindful of the people that they lead. And when things happen to them, there's no safety net for the people that's following you. So, once again, if he's guilty, shame on him. Because you just let down your whole community that was supporting you.
Now, is there any policies that you want to talk about that maybe are your front running for your campaign?
Well, one of the policies I wanted to talk about was shelter reform. There are agencies that's outside of DHS that have different, how can I say it? They have different laws or bylaws or protocols within their shelters. And I understand that, because if I'm coming with my own money and we raise money and we fundraise and we make a shelter for a need, then we should be able to run it how we want it to be ran, which I'm all for. But this is the thing. We have people that are not being serviced because certain staff members might not have the mental capability to deal with that situation.
I mean, I can only imagine in the hotels, you're going into work as a hotel person, and now you're dealing with an overabundance of illegal immigrants, migrants, etc., coming in there. That whole dynamic had to change,
I mean,
I believe.
honestly, I say it like this. So, speaking of that, the issue is that because America likes to pick and choose what immigrants is good and what immigrants is not. And when we're talking about the shelters for our people, it's something different when we're talking about shelters for immigrants. Those are two different separate issues. And this is why some of my people come from where we come from have this issue. Because now they're getting the same treatment and put in the same boat in the shelters with these people who's been here first. Now, America has no right to tell anybody who should be here and who should not. We know the history, we know that already. So we're not going to make it seem like, oh, well, this is our home, this and that. No. And nobody in America are saying, oh, well, no, F everybody else, we don't want them here. We're not saying that. We're just saying, how dare you invite everybody else in And then after that, target the ones that's already here. How dare you invite everybody else in, but don't take care of the ones that is here? There are people in the shelter system that have been in the shelter system for 4 or 5 years. There's people in the shelter system that haven't seen their caseworker. Then they have stuff in the shelter system that are called, I don't know the right terminology, but they are like reports. And if these reports from one shelter to another shelter they go to are bad, then that affects where they go. And that affects how long they stay in a shelter. So my main thing is like, I'm not against the shelter process.
We got the gist of it.
Right.
Just for time purposes, could you tell everybody how to reach you once again for the nonprofit?
EpicRev Vision ENT at gmail.com. Also, Tyreek Goodman. Vote for me. Goodman for the Bronx.
For the politics part is Goodman
yes,
for the Bronx.
At gmail.com.
Once again, this is Vet Talk, and I'm your host, Sergeant Gonzalo Duran. I'd like to say thank you to our executive producers, J Empire Media and Vero G Productions. Once again, this is Vet Talk and Vet Talk Podcast, which is streaming on all platforms. Thank you, and as always, God bless America.
Bless.